Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a survival horror film, Alone. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins where a middle-aged woman prepares her belongings for a road trip. Her husband died recently, so she currently feels extreme sadness. To cope with the death of her husband, she decides to go for a road trip far away from the city. After she is done with the preparation, she proceeds to drive her car, which also tows a heavy cart carrying her belongings. Soon after, she finally arrives on the highway in the middle of the woods. She seems to enjoy the peaceful surroundings, but along the way, she encounters a black car with strange driving behavior. The black car which is in front of her is driving too slowly, so she decides to speed up her car and overtake the car. However, as she comes to the other lane to overtake, the car also speeds up, making it hard for her to overtake. A large truck that is on the opposite lane almost hits her. Luckily, she is able to evade the truck in time. After that, the black car speeds up to follow her and it keeps on beeping. She just ignores it until they part ways. Later at night, she takes a break in a gasoline station located in a small town. As she fills her car with gasoline, she calls her father to inform him that she has already left the city. It appears that her parents are greatly worried about her. In the middle of the call, she suddenly sees the strange black car from earlier, passing by in the gasoline station. Its driver is giving her a bad look. After that, she comes to a small hotel in the town, to take a rest for the night. There, she receives a call from her mother, but she does not answer the call. It appears that she avoids talking to her mother, since she thinks that her mother tends to overreact about her sad situation. After that, she suddenly remembers her dead husband. She then reminisces their happy moments, by taking a look at their pictures. After seeing their pictures, she starts feeling sadness, and starts sobbing like a fat baby. So she turns off her tablet, and decides to sleep. The following day, she proceeds to continue her road trip. As she is about to drive away, the driver of the strange black car, called Mr. Creep, suddenly knocks on her car window. She fails to recognize him at first, so he introduces himself in a friendly way. It appears that Mr. Creep is in a weak condition, since his other arm appears to be injured. He then apologizes for his annoying driving behavior during their encounter yesterday. In response, she tells him that it is alright. After that, she proceeds to drive away to continue her road trip. Soon after, she finally leaves the town, and now drives on a highway in the middle of the woods. To her surprise, she encounters Mr. Creep again in the middle of the road. She then immediately locks her car, since she feels that Mr. Creep is following her around. As she is about to drive away, he stops her asking for help. He explains that his car malfunctions. He then asks her to bring him towards the nearest gas station. Worried about her safety, she tells him that she will go to the gas station and ask people to help him. But he keeps on insisting on riding her car, so she ignores him and abruptly drives away. Later at night, she takes a break in a resting area in the middle of nowhere. She then receives a call from her worried mother, who thinks that it is a bad idea to go on a road trip alone, but she appears to be stubborn. To her surprise, Mr. Creep arrives in the resting area, making it obvious that he is following her. She then quickly rides her car. Mr. Creep tries to walk towards her, but she abruptly drives away. But a van blocks her away, and Mr. Creep catches up to her. Now, he aggressively tries to stop her. The van drives away, and allows her to immediately leave the area, while ignoring the aggressive Mr. Creep. Soon after, she is driving in the middle of nowhere, when she notices a car behind her. She thinks that Mr. Creep is following her. In fear of her safety, she quickly calls 911 to ask for help. She then reports the situation, but she cannot figure out her current location, making it difficult for the police officers to respond to her. Shortly after, the car behind her overtakes. It turns out that it is not Mr. Creep's car. She then feels relief, and tells the 911 that the report is a false alarm. Suddenly, her car starts malfunctioning, making her crash the car on the side of the road. She walks out of her car to check, and she finds a slash on the tow cart's tire, which was presumably slashed by Mr. Creep earlier. Shortly after, she sees Mr. Creep driving towards her. She then immediately removes the tow cart from her car, and attempts to drive away. But this time, she fails to turn on the car. Mr. Creep walks out of his car, while holding a metallic tool. He then smashes the window of her car. She tries to get away, but Mr. Creep forcibly drags her back. After that, he beats the smelly shit out of her. As she appears to be completely helpless, Mr. Creep injects a substance into her, that instantly puts her to sleep. The following day, she wakes up, finding herself locked up in a basement of a cabin in the middle of nowhere. As she looks at the window, she sees a man passing by, so she starts shouting for help. but it turns out that the man is Mr. Creep. She then begins to feel hopeless. Later at night, Mr. Creep silently walks inside the basement and confronts her. At this moment, she starts asking him about the reason why he kidnaps her. She then starts offering him money and begs him to let her go. In response, Mr. Creep releases a sarcastic grin. He then informs her that his former victims also begged like her. After that, Mr. Creep instructs her to remove her clothes. She then tells him that she needs to use the bathroom first. Mr. Creep allows her, and she attempts to escape again. Mr. Creep then pushes her to the wall like a rag doll. As she is helplessly lying on the floor, Mr. Creep comes to embrace her. He then takes a look at her tablet and plays the video of happy moments of her with her husband. After watching the video, he forces her to tell the story about the death of her husband. She then reveals that her husband died after committing suicide. At this moment, she starts sobbing again like a fat baby, and he creepily comforts her. After that, he proceeds to leave her alone in the basement. The next day, she wakes up and quickly tries to find a way to escape out of the basement. She figures out that she can open the locked door using a nail, so she desperately removes the nail on the wall. After getting the nail, she successfully opens the locked door and sneaks out of the basement. As she is about to walk out of the basement, Mr. Creep suddenly arrives, which forces her to immediately hide in a small storage room. Fortunately, Mr. Creep does not notice her, since he is busy eating his breakfast and talking with his wife on the phone. It turns out that Mr. Creep has a wife and a daughter. Apparently, he lied to his wife, since his wife knows that he is working in a faraway location. After the call, Mr. Creep brings a knife and comes to check on her in the basement. She then grabs this chance to quickly run away out of the cabin. As she keeps running barefoot, she accidentally steps on a wood that pierces through her feet. She then stops to remove the wood. Mr. Creep, who is chasing her, arrives and sees her. She then keeps running in pain until she finds herself in front of a raging river. Mr. Creep catches up to her, so she jumps towards the raging river in desperation to escape. Soon after, the water flow brings her towards the other part of the woods. She then proceeds on walking to the woods, where she notices a man walking around. Thinking that the man is Mr. Creep, she hides to instantly smash the man, who turns out to be an old hunter roaming around. She then apologizes and explains her situation to him. After that, the hunter lets her borrow his phone. Unfortunately, the phone gets destroyed by her smash earlier. The hunter proceeds to guide her toward his car and gives her a pair of shoes. Knowing the dangerous situation, they proceed to drive out of the woods. But they soon find the path completely blocked by a big log. This makes her panic, thinking that Mr. Creep puts it there. Soon after, Mr. Creep arrives at their location. Mr. Creep then lies and convinces the hunter that she is his crazy sister. At this moment, the hunter starts to believe Mr. Creep and allows him to get her. She then starts fighting back. She then instructs the hunter to use Mr. Creep's phone to call the police, so the hunter can confirm whether she is Mr. Creep's crazy sister. At this moment, she is able to run away from Mr. Creep. The confused hunter starts asking Mr. Creep for his phone, so they can call the police. Without a choice, Mr. Creep starts beating the hunter. As the hunter appears to be completely helpless, Mr. Creep fatally shoots him. After that, Mr. Creep proceeds to search for her in the forest. Later, as the darkness starts coming and the rain begins to fall in the forest, she takes a rest behind a big rock. Suddenly, Mr. Creep arrives with a flashlight, trying to find her. After the light is gone, she begins to run away again. It turns out that Mr. Creep is still there, as he instantly shoots her on the shoulders. She falls to the ground, but she still stands up to run away, in desperation to escape. Along the way, she finds a swamp and proceeds to hide under the water. Meanwhile, Mr. Creep knows that she is just hiding nearby, since she cannot run far away due to her injury. But Mr. Creep cannot find her because of the darkness. To make her come out of her hiding place, Mr. Creep gives her a chance to grab the gun and shoot him. Mr. Creep then starts mocking her and her husband, while waiting for her to come out. But in the end, she decides to just hide in the swamp. So Mr. Creep gets completely frustrated, as he is also desperate to catch her. In the end, Mr. Creep decides to leave and continue the search tomorrow. After Mr. Creep leaves the area, she starts walking again, and tries to find a shelter. But due to her tiredness, she just falls asleep under a tree. The following day, she finds herself still in the middle of the forest. She starts walking again, where she sees Mr. Creep's passing through. It turns out that Mr. Creep comes there to get rid of the dead hunter's body. As Mr. Creep comes to bury the dead body, she sneaks inside Mr. Creep's car. She then searches for Mr. Creep's phone inside the car. As she finally finds the phone, she sees that Mr. Creep is coming back. so she immediately hides behind the car. Mr. Creep then rides the car and drives away while leaving her unnoticed. Along the way, she calls 911 using Mr. Creep's phone, but the operator cannot hear her, since she can only whisper, to avoid getting caught by Mr. Creep. Meanwhile, Mr. Creep notices that his phone is gone, so he stops the car to find it. She then grabs this chance to fight back, and smashes Mr. Creep's head with a metal tool. In response, Mr. Creep starts driving while also trying to fight her. She then attempts to choke him with the metal tool, but he is just too strong for her. So she grabs a knife and stabs his hands, making him crash the car. The car then flips upside down after it crashes. After that, she slowly crawls out of the car, where she finds herself around the muddy ground. She then starts walking away, until she reaches a clear field. Meanwhile, Mr. Creep, who appears to be injured from the crash, also starts crawling to chase her. In the clear field, she calls Mr. Creep's family to report his murderous and heinous acts. Mr. Creep's wife then seems to be confused about her report, but she convinces the wife as she tearfully narrates everything. Mr. Creep arrives at the scene and hears her talking to his wife. After that, she throws the phone at him so the wife can talk to him. At this moment, Mr. Creep's face shows pure desperation, knowing that his family already knows about his criminal acts. He then grabs his knife and slowly walks towards her. But she also has her metal tool to fight back against him. In a few moments, they start exchanging blows. Mr. Creep is able to choke and punch her, but she kicks the smelly hot dog out of him. She proceeds on repeatedly smashing him. He also tries to fight back again, and attempts to fatally stab her, but she is able to bite him, making him scream in pain. She then quickly grabs this chance, and fatally stabs him in the stomach. After that, she lays on the ground due to tiredness. Her eyes show madness as she takes a look at Mr. Creep's dying eyes. In the end, a rescue helicopter seems to arrive on the scene, giving hope to her. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.